The Killing Joke is a 1988 Batman graphic novel written by Alan Moore. It later went on to inspire the 2008 Christopher Nolan film The Dark Knight. But which do I think is better? I believe a good story should have character arcs that end with the protagonist changing from their experiences. The layout shouldn't be too difficult to follow. Colors, angles, and speech should be used to tell a story. So which achieves this better? The basic story of both of these pieces of media is Joker trying to prove that a good man can turn bad. I'll be going over how the stories meet my criteria. Number 1. Color. The Killing Joke uses color to tell a story. Whenever there are flashbacks to Joker's origin, it is black and white. This is used to communicate that these aren't in the present, and might not be very well remembered. The only color shown is red because of the persona that Joker takes on, the Red Hood. All of this changes, however, once he crawls out of the chemicals. After he sees his pale white skin and bright green hair in the reflection, color enters the Joker's world. He no longer sees things as black and white. The Joker is now born. I think this works very well in showing how Joker sees the world. In The Dark Knight, Batman is most of the time represented with blue. This shows the sadness he is feeling in life, about how he's trying to make a difference, but not always succeeding. The Joker is represented with yellow. This gives the watcher a feeling of caution and distrust, makes them feel uneasy about the Joker. I think this was a bit subtle and hard to pick up on. Number 2. Characters. The Killing Joke keeps the characters limited. The main focus is on Batman, Joker, and Commissioner Gordon. All of the other characters are not integral to the story. Batman's arc is realizing that he and the Joker will eventually kill each other, and he wants to at least try to reason with them before this happens. Once he tries and fails, he may have actually killed him. But Joker wants to turn Gordon crazy so he can prove that everyone can be as crazy as him. I think that while Joker and Batman's arcs are interesting, they should have met more throughout the story for the end to have more impact. The Dark Knight has many integral characters to the story. Joker is giving the city dilemma after dilemma. Kill this man, or a hospital blows up. Save Harvey Dent from dying, or save Rachel. He does this to show how good people can be as bad as him, while Batman tries to stop these plans at every corner. I think characters are used very well in this movie. While there are main characters, random people will become important when it comes to Joker's plans. Take this scene, for example.
I'm gonna need your weapon.
The character has had nothing to do with the story up until this point, and now he is the most important character in the scene.
My wife's in the hospital.
I think characters are used well in this
that would be
film.
why.
Number 3. Dialogue. The Killing Joke uses dialogue whenever necessary. Sometimes there are panels, even entire pages that go without dialogue, using only the art to tell the story. When dialogue is used, it's almost exclusively used in speech bubbles, with some onomatopoeia. The reason for this is that there are some parts of the story that can't be told without dialogue, like this page, for example. It would be very difficult to understand this page without dialogue. I think the story uses dialogue very well, but I think thought bubbles should have been used to help understand the characters. The Dark Knight uses dialogue to help us understand characters. Take this scene, for example.
My jokes were bad.
Joker starts off all jokey, poking fun at them, but when someone calls him crazy, he almost acts offended, like they've insulted his pride. He starts to get more assertive and threatens them. In one scene, the dialogue perfectly shows who Joker is, what his goals are, and why we should fear him. Dialogue is used excellently in this film. Number 4. Layout. The layout of The Killing Joke is mostly uniform, with a number of splash panels and insert panels throughout. The gutters are evenly spaced, the story is easy to follow. An interesting use of layout is whenever Joker's origin is being shown, the panels are all in uniform squares, with no insert or splash panels. But the moment he becomes Joker, a splash panel appears. This shows how Joker is now insane, and his world doesn't make sense anymore. It's all over the place. I think this is used well. The Dark Knight's layout is easy to follow. Everything happens in order, and there are many different camera shots to both look cool and tell us the story. I think that how much the camera shakes during fighting scenes is distracting though. This film uses layout well. With all I have discussed, I think The Dark Knight does the story more justice.